Right, so what I want to do is go through different ways of starting a strict press, just so you can see what clients are doing and how specific I write programs for my clients. It'll also highlight areas where clients are either cheating or where you can improve their technique and different tactics there. So the first one I would call strict, okay? So there's no movement. His elbows would be, you see his elbows a little bit back? Just push your elbow forward, that's better, and press from there, above the head. Good, and back down. So there's no movement of the torso. The bar is the only thing, so go up and back down. There's no movement backwards and forwards here. He has to tense isometrically everything. So quads, abs, upper back. Okay. The next one I like to use with people is a pause. So it's a concentric pause and it's touching the nose. You definitely wouldn't be able to do this one today with your 10. So press the bar up, pause at the nose and press. Good. That first little couple of inches, so come back down again, it wants to be a little bit there, slower and more deliberate, and press. That's fine. There, pause, press. So what I'm trying to do here is create the perfect line. So we want the bar to obviously go up. Even every millimeter that the bar's going to be coming forward or this way, you're going to lose kilos, okay? Because it wants to come up and maybe even J at the top. So by going up, touching the nose, that's the closest point, which is obviously a lot further for me compared to you guys. That's going to help perfect your technique and your line. Next one is myotatic pause, or paused myotatic, okay? So grab the bar, step back. I'll just show you before you do the movement. So you're gonna come up, you're gonna take that pause, but below the chin. So it's gonna be up, hold for 2. You're gonna pull down and fire back up. You've got to make sure that it's a pull, bang, okay? It's a stretch reflex. So we should be thinking lat, then shoulders, triceps, and everything. Okay? So up and pause, bang. Good. And then the tempo would be here. So it's myotatic, but no, come all the way down each rep. Every rep starts at the chest, okay? There's rarely a point where I'm gonna get you to start here. You see some people do that. Some people have too big a bicep problem and forearm. You don't have this problem, Will. Sorry, mate. Okay? So go up just below the chin, pause, down, press. Now 4 seconds back down to the chest, nice and controlled. Then you're gonna come up, do that pause, pull down, press, good. And that would be the rep. So he's always returning to the chest, but he's taking a pause, driving down, punching up, bit of momentum. Pop it back, have a rest. So that's paused myotatic. The next one is simply a myotatic start. So you know that little distance between the chin, you're gonna push up, pull down and go. So be a bit more deliberate with the concentric, so up a little bit in 1, then bang. Make sense? So it's like you're using a little bit of momentum. People would generally look at it and be like, oh, you're bouncing the rep. We would call it a myotatic start. So be deliberate from here to the chin. So up, good. Bit slower with that bit to the chin, just so we can emphasize what's going on. So you're still coming down to here. You would come up, bang, good. So we've taken the pause out. Where you're gonna see the most benefits, relax, is on that first rep. So you're gonna up, first rep, you're gonna come up for a second, bang. Okay, so for 1 RM performance, you'll see another few kilos come through the roof because you're using that stretch reflex. So go a little slower to the chin, bang. Slower, go, good. So you're gonna use that on the first rep. We're taking the pause out of it now, okay? The pause is good beforehand, so the myotatic pause is good beforehand, again, to get the line and the technique. If you go straight to that bounce, it's very difficult. It's over too quickly for the brain to compute. But if you go little pause for 2 to 4 seconds and then go, it's much easier to get the technique. Because it's 2 to 4 second pause, reps would come down accordingly because the time under tension is going to be longer. Okay? Next one is like an old school military press. Have you seen did you know it was in the Olympic weightlifting? Do you know they do the snatch and they do the clean and jerk? They used to do a military press until it became too hard to judge because people were cheating, i.e. they were using different techniques. This is one of them. The guy who does this the best currently is Graham Hicks. He does it with a log with 200 plus kilos. okay? Incredible presser. So this is useful more for like a strongman event if you get injured. So Graham injured his heel at UK's, so he couldn't really get up through his legs. So he just leant back a little bit and pressed through. So that's the movement. You kind of lean back, and then as you come forward, you've got that little bit more momentum to drive through the shoulders. If you watch videos of Hicksy doing it, it's perfect. That's why he's the guy most likely, in my opinion, right now to beat Z's record. Because not only does he have the shoulders, but he can also do a push press. If you watch him do it, it looks so rapid with 200 kilos. Just lean back, bump. Great technique. So have a go at that. So it's chest up, lean back. But we need to see that bar move. So come back down to the chest, stand up tall. Lean back, and then through.
Okay, so it's all like one motion.
Lean back, and then through. Good. Good. This is last in the list because it's one of the more advanced. Jen's probably looking at it thinking with general pop, there's certain people we wouldn't do this with. I couldn't agree more, but we're looking from an athletic performance point of view here. Not too much lean back. We're not. So if you actually look at the Olympic weightlifting, they did that. They turned it into a standing bench press because they can push more weight through it. Yep. Here we're just looking at trying to improve performance of a strict press, or as a backup plan. If you injure your knee on a yoke or a heel, whatever, and you can't use your legs, well, you need strong shoulders. So the last one, and again, this isn't say necessarily advanced, this is more for strict, we're not using any of the techniques, is pressing from the pins at different heights. So think about it, remember with when we were speaking about the squats on Monday and the isometrics, how I was pretty strong at the bottom, got to the midpoint, everything went to pot, so to speak, and then the top was cranking the weights. So it's similar here. This is probably a bit high. We probably need to be around chin, maybe mouth, nose, in this area. But you get the idea. So just do a press from the pin. So there's a couple of things going on. You have to go from a dead stop and isometric. So one of the problems with a deadlift, just relax, is creating tension off the floor. And that's why people can't get strong at a deadlift. Same thing here. You have to create tension from a dead stop and an awkward position. More often than not, if Will's going to press, he's not going to press from this height from a dead stop, but he's going to have momentum from his collarbone going through. So what his nervous system and his body actually does from here to here is get lazy, because he's already generated speed and momentum through the bar, and it coasts the top almost. So it's very difficult to be strong here as well, so you need to train it. Make sense? Okay, press. So from dead stop, overhead, and you can change the pins, and you would just make a note on where you want the stop to be in the program. So press from chin, dead stop. So it makes a difference, and each rep I would have a dead stop. So the first rep's obviously going to be the hardest. You have to overcome inertia completely, and then you'd have anything up to a 4-second pause. 4-second pause would dissipate all elastic energy. So a 4-second pause would be like going from a dead stop each rep. Okay? So it's another good thing to look at the overall strength curve and go, look, where are you weak in that lift? Do you actually do any work here?
Like, would you go back then and do some full ROM stuff after? Like
Yep.
You would with, yeah.
So it's the same thing. Same thing. You could start with this and then go to the full range of movement afterwards.
Full range have to be on the bar, or would it be on a different movement?
No, you can go and do shoulder press. Yeah. So you could start with this and then go and do dumbbell work. I'm cool with that. Most of the time, yeah, you would do your heavy stuff here and then move on. Maybe one set, full range afterwards. As long as you do one set after isometrics or partials to encourage full range again, you're good. It doesn't have to be heavy. It doesn't have to be like an all out. It can be 60 to 70% for a few reps, just to encourage the full range back into the nervous system and the soft tissue. Questions? I fucking nailed it then, didn't I?
Easy.